Oh, I'm so tempted by Marathon. I'm so tempted.
Why?
Come to the dark side.
I just am.
He's already on the dark side.
Yeah, he's already on the dark side. And plus, this is a Destiny podcast. We do not talk Marathon here. Okay, maybe we can.
Open beta soon. Beta's out for it soon.
I will try it. Yep, I will try it. And that's as far as I'll go. Probably.
And that weekend we could talk about it.
Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So you're here, he's here, and he's here.
Everybody's here.
Everybody's here. It's a full house today.
It's it's time to start the show then.
Let's throw some ads. No, not some ads. Let's throw some titles.
Some merch.
Yeah.
Merch.
Ooh.
Thanks to Gamer Subs for wait, no. Star Forges that wait, no, that's not right. No.
How do you kick somebody from the Discord again?
Let's see, Squarespace had it.
File.
Get yourself a Squarespace site.
Oh, it's that button. There you go.
It's time for Peroty's player support report.
I can ignore or block. Why can't I kick? Kick!
Well, so if anybody can, you should be able to.
I can't figure it out.
That's why I generally have to do it then, yeah?
He is the king of the castle. Unfortunately, he's the Mad King who's lost his mind.
Fine, let's roll the titles.
Yay, finally.
Welcome to the Two Titans and a Hunter Destiny 2 podcast, a show dedicated to bringing you the latest intel, the mightiest news, and the boldest opinions from the farthest reaches of the Sol system. Whether you're a bright-eyed new guardian fresh from the Cosmodrome or a battle-hardened veteran of the Red War, this is your Destiny destination. We'll arm you with tips, tricks, and tower-worthy tools to help you triumph, thrive, and revel in the glory of the fight. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
So welcome. You're here. I'm here. Toaster's here. Everyone's here.
The cats are here. Yeah, the cats are here.
Hey! That was well timed.
So, yeah, welcome, Renard.
Thank
welcome
you.
to the show again. Noble, welcome, I suppose, our talisman for everything that everybody likes on YouTube. So you're here to keep the YouTubers happy.
Yeah.
And
Although I
Peroty,
am missing my comments. I keep
Oh.
checking. I hadn't had any recently, and it's a little bit upsetting.
Oh, because they don't mention you by name.
Yeah, they don't. Well, it was nice. Now my head's shrinking back down again. I'm like, oh, where's everybody gone?
You had your 15 minutes of fame.
I know, right?
I think he had more than 15 minutes of fame.
No, I just milked it for more than 15.
What he doesn't know is I was actually creating all those accounts to
That's
prop
fine.
his ego up.
That's fine. I don't mind. Either way, it worked brilliantly for me.
Oh, so there are 15 European minutes longer? Is that how that works? Is there a conversion there somewhere?
Yeah.
And poor old Peroty and I are just here to kind of make up the numbers this week. Hopefully, Peroty's audio this week is working okay.
Hopefully.
As I said to Noble, I think it was only after the first hour. So if we get the show done in an hour, hopefully he won't
That's
break
just
up.
very weird.
Yeah. It was very weird, to be honest, to have you completely break up. Normally it's me, just like with all the different things that are going on in my house with the kids. And I'm like, thank God it wasn't me and you, because that would just been an awkward end of the show. I'd have just come on and gone, we had a few technical difficulties. We spoke about some stuff, but hey ho, you missed it. End of show.
Yep. You'll just have to imagine the interpretive dance we were doing to tell you the real story of what happened.
Yeah. Oh dear. So we've got some Arms Week to talk about. Should we talk about that first before we dive into TWABs and things?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I guess that's happening this week.
Yeah. Have we enjoyed Arms Week? Are we enjoying playing Crucible non-stop?
I was telling my kid this the other day. I did not know, did not expect, and honestly cannot believe I'm really good with a bow in Crucible. It has opened up an entirely new way of thinking for me.
Okay.
I've got a King Orfeo with explosive head and something else, the 2 explosive perks, and it is
Meganura?
what?
Have you got the Meganura on there?
Let me see here. Let me just go quickly look in it. I have got, it is Dragonfly, Explosive Head, Draw Time Masterwork, and I'm using the events Shatter Shafts mod, which is the bolt split into pieces after a while, and I am just like murdering people in Crucible.
Nice.
But I like it. I gilded Sharpshooter last night.
Nice.
Purposely, or was it just one of those things that you were playing along and it popped up and you went, "Oh right, that's the thing I can do." Because that's usually how I remember those things exist.
I'm one of those weird people that, like, if I see
you can just stop there. You can just stop there. You're just one of those weird people.
Thank you. No, I like to be a title collector, and then like once I've got it and it's guildable, like I'm like, might as well go ahead and do it.
Done it before, might as well do another 15 or 16 times. What's not to love?
Something like that.
Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah. Know what you mean.
Novelty wore off on that one.
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not the novelty worn off. It was the fact that I missed out on doing something. So then I was like, well, I can't now.
Then the novelty had gone. It was just
It's not the novelty. It's just like the chase is then gone because I'm like, well, I've missed one. And I think if that happened with Iron Banner, I'd be like, well, I can't. What's the point of me now playing Iron Banner forever?
If
that would really upset me.
He wants none of them. Is what
saying. That's what I'm saying. But anyway,
every title, why bother?
Yeah, I got a nice King Orfeo with Explosive Head, Meganura, or I can swap it out for Dragonfly or Jolting Feedback. So I was like, I will keep that one for PvE. There's lots of explosions. And what do you reckon about the glaive? Anyone excited about the glaive?
I've got a ton of them in my vault. I like the look of it. It looks sharp. I have not yet played with it.
It looks sharp.
Yeah. I've got one with destabilizing rounds, and I've got one with the Void S tier roll thing, and so I'm gonna go
Repulsive Race destabilizing.
Yeah, since I can't really play anything while we're talking, I can sort of dork around with it. Let me give that a go.
Go into the arena ops and be like, I'm gonna stab things. I always want to think Unrelenting will be good on the glaive, and I don't know if it is anymore. Just, beating things to death quickly gives you more health. I don't even know if you need more health these days, or if we're just, unkillable gods as it is, so it's not even worth your time.
Well, it depends. It depends on what you're playing.
I don't even know if I need Unrelenting, as it's used to beat things to death with my hands. Just mini hammers. I suppose that theoretically isn't really my hand, though, is it? It's disappointing.
Bless you.
No, I'm going to stick with mini hammers. Is good enough.
Okay.
To be honest, I still out over that mini hammer throw that I got in PvP. To be fair, but when I was with you, Peroty, that still makes me smile. That game of Trials where I killed the dude with a mini hammer. That's just that's been my pinnacle destiny.
Your week, your year.
It's been my pinnacle destiny for the last 12 months, is that, to be honest. Killing the guy with a mini hammer in Trials. I was so excited when it happened.
That's squarely under a stopped clock that's still right twice a day. Anything is possible. Any team on any given day can win.
Yep.
It is a beautiful thing.
Everybody, have you enjoyed playing some Arms Week?
I've enjoyed the very little bit I've played. I ran around, I don't remember which one night this week. Yeah, trying to find a primary bow, and I saw I had one Mercury A left that wasn't exotic, and I was like, okay, let's put you on and the Vex Caliber and run around and stab people with the Crucible. I had a good time. I wasn't really sure what to expect in terms of, is it going to be just squads of people, squads of archers running around? And in some cases, yes. I was running around with a few, with Blue Screen and Banana Ham, and then some other friends of his had joined. And so it was putting us in we were squads of between 2 and 4 So it was putting us up against other squads. And there was a lot of rooms filled with archers. You'd walk into a doorway and suddenly, fling, you were Swiss cheese. Because there were just 3 bows or arrows, 3 arrows coming at you from all different directions.
Yeah.
But running around beating people to death with glaives was just so much fun. Just running around with a group being like, all right, we're going this way. We're all going to follow you. We're just going to stab whatever we find. Just depending on the map. It was really good fun.
Did you guys find that it was a little bit awkward if you played later on in the week that everybody had the bow mods unlocked, and it was like if you walked into past somebody on the opposite team and they had one of the mods that you just died instantly, there was just explosions and it was a one-shot kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit. Although I guess I haven't really seen anybody using the tungsten draw screen. I mean, I tried it. That draw time is just really, really hard.
Yeah, but that's the one. That's the one that everyone's been using to get the one-shot kills.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of shatter shafts, but I guess maybe the one shots from across the map by a bow have been the tungsten bowstrings, but like up close-ish, it seems like everybody had been using the shatter shafts. I don't think I've seen anybody using the airborne effectiveness one. That just seems kind of lame.
Yeah, unless you've kind of got an
around.
airborne effectiveness kind of perk on your weapon that actually helps as well.
Oh, does it help on something not a bow? Drawing this weapon while in midair triggers increased damage, faster draw time, improved target acquisition, and dramatically faster movement speed for a short time until you touch the ground.
Yeah. See, I did notice, I think on one of my bows, I've got high ground. So final blows with this weapon grant a stacking bonus of damage. Attacking targets from higher ground immediately grants a maximum number of stacks. So does that work if you're jumping with that? I can't remember if the high ground thing works if you're actually just kind of jumping up. Because that, paired with that perk, or the bow mod, might actually be quite useful.
I feel like yes, but I'm not sure.
But
have you seen anybody rolling around with the Titan jetpack though? That was the thing I was not expecting in Crucible. Is I'm used to a warlock hovering over me and shooting down on me. I wasn't prepared for the Titans hovering with their new jetpack exotic and just unloading with bows and things above me. That was a new one.
No.
I unlocked it, but I don't think I've used it at any point.
Same. I don't think I know anybody who's actually used it, but I was like, that's a good spot. Just hover around and shoot down bows with people, switch to your glaive, and clean them up sometimes. If nothing else, no one's going to look up for a Titan. They're going to see you and go, no, you're not above me. Why would you be up there?
And honestly, I will admit, oh my god, I just made like 15 things disappear in a poof of void with this glaive. Is that I kind of have a issue with that being a Titan exotic. Boba is a hunter, and the hunter should have gotten the jetpack.
No.
It would have gotten caught in their capes. It would have been terrible.
Yeah, well, their capes would have caught fire. There'd have been issues. There'd have been.
You can't put a jetpack on a hunter. No.
Health and safety would have gotten involved. It would have shut them down immediately. It wouldn't have been good.
Yeah. The red tape on that is ridiculous.
Although my Boba Fett does have a cape and a jetpack, so
he's clearly more skilled than the other ones.
Yeah,
maybe the hunters just need to work harder.
I mean, that's yeah. The hunters.
So how was your week in Crucible been, Demon? Have you soloed the dungeon while you're at it?
No, but I have looked at trying to do that because there's been a couple of bow glitches and things that you can do. And I mean, I'll start talking about Crucible as we're here. I mean, Crucible the first day wasn't too bad, but then as soon as people started unlocking the tungsten bowstring, it was like it got harder and harder because you could kind of you could two-tap people with your regular bow, or if you had the mod the shatter shafts, it would actually work. But then when everybody started using the tungsten bowstring, I was like, I need to do that to unlock that. So I then went off to the Whisper mission and killed lots of things in the Whisper missions with bows. Was then able to unlock it, and then came back into Crucible and used it. And I used it on my Hunter, and that was pretty cool because I had my Oath Keepers on, and I was quite happy with that because I could just have it pulled back at full length for indefinite amount of time, and then just hopefully catch people in the head. So yeah, and the Hush Whisper seems to be quite a good go-to bow. So does the Mercury A, and what else was there? Was the King Orfeo people seem to be using. I did look at trying to do the dungeon, and a lot of people say it's easy and you can kind of chunk down the damage on the bosses with certain different things. And I saw a TikTok, somebody put out a TikTok going, I think it was Kodak. So you can just use the Titan Flechette Storm and just kind of jump in the air and just use one of the exotics to just get that and chunk down the bosses. That's all good and well, but I'm not that proficient with that super. And by the time it takes me to learn how to do that properly, I think the challenge will be over. I found it quite hard in that first encounter, even just kind of going up in the cages and trying to find where those blight balls are and then shoot out between the bars with my bow. I'm like, stop hitting that little piece of metal that isn't there.
I was watching Dado do the same thing with a glaive. It is the first time it worked fine. And then he died because he could not get a second shot off. It just wouldn't go through. It's like, see, everyone has the same problem.
I tried the it's not a glitch, but it's using the shatter shafts. Seems to be chunking down a lot of boss damage. And on a Hunter, if you use your tether and then use the shatter shafts on a bow, it really chunks it down. But I couldn't even, after getting out the cage, I couldn't even kind of chunk him down because there were too many enemies just all around. I mean, I tried to take them out and sit in those two like circles to unlock the thing with, it's like, and I was like, this is not worth my time this week.
Yeah, is it? Does it feel really weird that it's only for a week? I mean, I know they release it with Arms Week and but like, would it have hurt to have been like, hey, for the next month, take your shot at this dungeon run? Like, why make that a week? Because that was something I was kind of interested in trying to do, but I don't have any time this week to do it, and I'm not going to just do it for fun another time. Like, it's like, I guess at this point, if I was going to do it, I would have done it. But it's just like it just feels weird. It's like, oh, go do this 1 week. It's like, who is this for? Like the 6 people left trying to solo the witness. It just felt really weird because like I thought for sure when I was like, because I was looking and like collecting some builds and stuff this week to talk about, and then I realized it's like, oh, this is going to be over before anybody hears this. Basically, like it'll be over on Tuesday, and I was like, sure, because I thought, I knew Arms Week was the week, and I was like, maybe they'll extend it with the bugs and the problems with the currencies. But I was like, surely the dungeon challenge thing must be longer than a week, right? They surely wouldn't give people a week to do that. Nope, it's a week and that's it. So I don't know.
No, I mean, I think they heard the complaints, and the seasonal events are back to 3 weeks. I think Demon started the whole thing with that being sucky. Well, no, I mean, you were like, I heard it first from you than any of the other Destiny places that I pay attention to. And then the next thing they had the problem with haunted altars or whatever it was, and they extended it. And then there was just no, with Dawning, it was just like, hey, it's 3 weeks. Like, we didn't do anything. We've never changed it to 2 weeks. What are you talking about? But I think I think these Arms Weeks ones are just meant to be like little whatevers that we'll just get for it.
But don't you think, because of the sparsity of events that we've got in Destiny at the moment, that it wouldn't hurt for them to kind of, let's do Arms Week for 2 weeks, or the first week is the bows, and then the second week is the glaives, and then the next time it rolls around, it starts with the glaives, and then it's the bows. I know that they want to do a week of glaives later on. That's why we've got the 2 different weapons. But what's the harm with kind of doing it back to back to start off with, and then when we have the Arms Week another time, bring the 2 weeks into it? It's like that.
Yeah,
why we have no Iron Banner and things like that. It makes no sense.
I don't think we're going to get Iron Banner until Ashen Order or not Ashen Order, whatever What's the next one?
You've now confused me because it was Ash and Iron
Is it
and
Ash and Water? No,
Ash and Iron
Ash and Iron.
and Ash and Iron was the one previous, and then this one
What's
is
the one that's coming up? What's the one that's coming up?
something. It is something order.
Something Order. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see. I don't think we're gonna see Iron Banner until the mid refresh or whatever.
Shadow and Order.
Shadow and Order. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see an Iron Banner until then. They've just been silent. It doesn't seem to exist. I know there's the new auto rifle in the database, but they would have said something, I think.
Yeah.
One would hope.
It's a shame because, I played it in D1 when it was a Pinnacle event, but it's just like, it's fun. Like, there's no sweats. It's just go in, get the armor, get the weapons. I like the fact that you have to put either the armor or the ornaments on to increase your thing. Like, it's a kicky little event that's fun, that even the people that don't play as much, they come back for. I see people the weeks of Iron Banner on my friend list, that aren't there, on the regular every other time. Everybody just sort of enjoys it. It's fun, and people, it does bring people back in who sort of dropped off.
Yeah.
Weird people.
Look, I will not stand for this slander. I am an oddball, not a weirdo.
Weird people. Weird people play Iron Banner.
You like playing Iron Banner.
I like the mode in Iron Banner that other people don't like. I like the Gambit mode. Give me the Gambit mode back. I really enjoyed playing that with Peroty, and then they took it away from us and everybody complained about it. That was fantastic.
Supremacy. You like the Supremacy version?
I don't know. Ask Peroty.
Wait,
he's the one that knows. He told me to come and play it because it's Gambit Banner, and I was like, no, it's going to suck. It's Iron Banner. And then we played it, and I was like, this is fantastic. And then we lost it.
Yeah. You don't get it back. Oh no, it was something else, wasn't it? It wasn't the Supremacy.
And it wasn't pretty. Was a Fortress? Am I thinking Fort?
I think it was Fortress.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember now what the different modes were.
Yeah, you had to gather and bank the crests.
Yeah. And then the turrets come down the middle and then try to kill everyone. Yeah. Fortress. There we go.
And does anybody? I'm going to throw it back out there because I know Bungie listened to us quite a lot. Bungie, you did say at some point that Rift would be reintroduced back into Iron Banner, and that was, I'm going to say, about a year ago now, when you said that you were going to kind of bring it back into Iron Banner. Yeah. We assumed that it was like,
will be.
Yeah, we assumed that it was going to be when you returned in Ash and Iron, but that never showed. Or was it the one before that? It could have been the one before that. Never showed up. Then never showed up in Ash and Iron. I'm here as your conscience just to remind you that you did state that somewhere in one of the TWABs, because I remember those things.
To be fair, they could have said that all they want, mate. But
yeah,
Iron Banner's not even here right now. Never mind.
While we're on the case of reminding Bungie different things, you did say that you were going to return Gambit. Just not getting these two kicking off about your Gambitting, but I'm just reminding you, Bungie. You did say that was going to be reinvented and come back.
Well, I mean, they've reinvented it by putting it into every single other game mode, and also they're testing a certain something that they talk about in the TWAB this week that to me sounds like we're working on the next generation of Gambit. That's all, Bungie. That's all I'm hearing is this is basically my conspiracy. Every time they're going to talk about invasions or double crosses or anything, I'm just going to be convinced you're working on another version of Gambit because I mean, all your other testing has been for Marathon so far. Now you're just working on the next version of Gambit. Then maybe you'll see put that in Marathon, and I'm there. See, just bring Gambit to Marathon. That'll get me. Come on, you can do it. I promise.
Well, they also talked about, and what I was very interested in from a an application development person was they're going to do that server test where it looks like they're going to test something along the lines of hot swaps, not like hot swap, a build out, but hot swap server settings, and that sounds interesting. Like they could fix some things, that have been problematic if they get that tech down and good.
Yeah, maybe fixing some of these currency things of, hey, I know this is a 1 week event and things are all broken, but we won't be able to fix it until the next event. So sorry. Yeah, honestly, anything they're doing to improve all the underlying everything is just going to be a win for all of us.
My kid is taking his first CS class, and I have a CS degree, and he's like trying to have me explain how they can make boo-boos like the currency, when it's to him it's just programming. And I'm like, well, let's talk about here.
Oh, you sweet tiny child of programming. It's all ones and zeros. Just put the ones and zeros in a different order. It'll be fine.
And you don't even really need to know the exact order. Just ones and zeros all over the page.
Yeah, just try a different order. It'll be fine. Just rearrange them. Have the cat walk across the page, scatter them a little bit. See what you get.
I was having something not compile a couple weeks ago, and I had stepped away, and when I came back, Cade, the orange cat, was on the keyboard, and I was like, get away, get away, get away. And I don't know what he had done, but he had caused the syntax highlighter to come on, and it was at the right line where the error was. So apparently he is now my cat guru when it comes to code.
Cats know what's up. It's like, listen, you're doing it wrong. Let me help you.
So anyway, I think Arms Week has been fun.
What would have been like if he had thumbs?
Do not give the cats thumbs. That's all they need to finish taking everything over.
Oh my god, he would totally open up his
Stop distracting him with cats. He was talking about Arms Week. He was just about to go. I let him off on that one cat thing, and then you two have distracted him back with cats.
We already said that we had to get him on to talk about cats. I thought that's what we were doing.
Arms Week is great. I will not talk about cats anymore for the rest of the episode.
You can talk about cats, but you were talking about Arms Week, and they distracted you again.
Well, I like this Arms Week. It's been fun.
Noble?
To be honest, I got on and I was going to play some Arms Week, and then you said, "Let's do this," and I haven't played a great deal of Arms Week.
Arms Week wasn't on at that point.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't actually, was it? Yeah, no.
So don't lie.
No.
He doesn't know
when did it start?
He doesn't know what day it is. It started on Tuesdays, so 27th. 27th.
No, I've just started it actually. Yeah, and I just got a big stupid bow and I tried using it and it was rubbish. And I was like, "This is horrible."
Yeah, it's a bit harder to kind of start it later on in the week when everybody else has got all the bow things. Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. It was the bow, and to be honest, the sound of bows triggers this PTSD thing in my brain.
You could use a glaive.
Oh, yeah, there is that. Yeah, but I didn't get given a glaive. I got given a bow that I tried to use, and then it made a noise. And I was
surely you've got a glaive somewhere.
Old ones, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Just use an old one.
But I'm trying not to use old things.
It's fine. You can still use old things.
No, I'm trying not.
As a Titan, I have found that there is a fantastic. Somebody else used it on me to start off with, but use your AC/DC feedbacks with a glaive is fantastic because if they try and hit you and then you hit them back, there's just explosions and electric everywhere. That's
what I was running around with. Yeah, that was basically the only sort of PvP-ish build I have on my Titan. So I was like, we're gonna put these on. Because, I had the same thought. I'm like, I may not be good, but if you hit me, you're going to hurt yourself. So it's a win-win for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great fun. At one point, I was like, I don't know if these are working. I hear them triggering. And somebody else was like, no, it's working. I'm seeing it work. I was like, that's good. Because I hear it go off and then things are dying, but I don't know if that's because of me or just the other 15 bows running around.
Yeah, I'm trying not to use old stuff. I've spent so much time caught up on the fact that I was annoyed that I had to replace all my old stuff, and now I'm trying to not use my old stuff so that I don't go back to the annoyance.
We've spoken about this. You can still use old stuff. It's fine.
No,
bless you.
No, I need all the new stuff.
You do need new stuff, but having the old stuff isn't too bad.
No, I don't want to use the old stuff. I just need to use the new stuff. I need to get over it. It's hard enough as it is. I don't want to make it harder on myself. Still want to use my sniper rifle.
Well, on the subject of old and new stuff, how are people finding the quality of life improvements to the vault? I have to say, I'm become a big fan of the ability to like go straight to armor and all the different filters I can do. I'm not going to ask demon because I know it's a disaster, but
Yep.
I've got my vault pretty nicely managed right now with it. I've actually stopped using the vault app that I've been using and do everything in game now.
It just feels like sacrilege, but yeah, I've been doing the same thing, partially because ever since I don't know, I'm blaming Apple on this one because Dim worked beautifully until iOS 26 came out, and now sometimes Dim just doesn't load on my phone. Like it works fine everywhere else, it works fine on the iPad, works fine other places. Just sometimes it just loads to a black screen.
Are you having
Just-
that as well? I thought that was just me.
Nope. And some days it'll work. Like I've uninstalled it, I've reinstalled it, it'll work for a while, and then just stop working. I think it's around when they push updates. Like when they push updates to the game, it just loads to a black screen. So I've been using the Vault in game more because usually I'm looking for a particular weapon or looking to pull something, from another character. So I've been using the in-game Vault a lot more lately. But it's wonderful because you can actually finally say, I mean, I was able to go, hey, I need a glaive. What glaives do I have left? What bows do I even have? It's nice that you can put on, 2 or 3 filters and say, show me all the bows and glaives. Then let me figure out what slots they live in. It's just, I want to give all the credit where it's due. It's 1,000 times better than what we had before. And just being able to drill down and find things where before it was like, okay, I can sort by the newest or default or whatever. It's like, this is not helpful. Now, my big dumb brain can't remember to get out of vault mode. So once I've pulled the thing and then I try to equip it, I put it right back in the vault because I'm dumb and don't hit the button again to get out of the vault mode.
Yeah.
But that's my problem, not the game's problem.
No, that's the game's problem, because I keep doing that as well, and I will blame myself.
The
Too
one
many
thing
years of
I
muscle
do
memory.
The one thing I do wish is if they also were to add into this a ability to pull and push from other characters into the vault.
Mhm.
Because I still use a helper app on my phone to move things between characters. Like I have
Yep.
one 5-star S tier mint retrograde, and I've got one of the uh, auto rifle from Vesper's Host that's an S tier, and it's the core of an arc build that I've got for all 3 of my guys. So I just have to move it because the loadouts still are kind of broken in the game that if if it's in the loadout but it's not on the character and it's not in the vault, it can't pull it from another character. So I would like that, but other than that, I only have to use the helper app to move things between characters. Other than that, I've totally gone to in-game vault management.
That's the problem I run into. I'm like, let me pull this. Oh, it's on the Warlock. Can't get it from the Warlock. It's over there now. But
I'll be honest.
It's wonderful.
I've got that little in my vault anymore because I deleted it all because I was like, nope, they haven't got little diamonds. It's going. I need to stop. As I was just complaining about, got rid of everything because if it didn't have a little diamond, I didn't need it.
Yep.
And now when I go to my vault, I've only got like a minuscule amount of things in my vault. So I didn't really need it, to be all honest. I've been debating seeing if I can rent some space out of my vault to Demon for a couple of weeks. start charging him room in there, like I've got 500 spaces. What's that worth to you? But no, like my vault is so barren at the minute that like the customization of being able to search through the vault at the moment isn't making a great deal of difference to me, in fairness.
Not yet. One day.
But I can imagine that when I get to the stage where I've got a full vault again, it will make a big difference.
And Demon's Vault, as we said, we just don't speak of.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to say anything because we all know what I'm like with my vault. And
Well, I heard, was it last week or the week before that you're already full?
But that was because we had an event. That was after the dawning. I was up to maximum with everything. With this event, I'm not doing too bad. It's 974 at the moment. There are a few things in the postmasters, but it's just going to take a bit of sorting. Plus, I was doing stuff on Caldera, so I was getting loads of those givers' blessings that I've got to go through as well. So, yeah. I mean, I know my weaknesses and I know where to get to them, but
I'm impressed you're only at 974 and there's room at all for anything else.
I'm impressed that he managed to mention Caldera and not laugh at the amount he got me killed in Caldera.
No, nobody got you killed in Caldera.
You got me killed. Loads. When you made me go help you do those things and try and kill that big fallen walker, I couldn't even get out of a room without getting my Swiss cheesed.
Yeah, okay. There was that one.
Swiss cheese buttocks. It was ridiculous.
I managed to wrangle Noble in the end and get him to help me with the strange stranglet thingies from Caldera and go off and do the 2 missions that you require. It requires you basically, because there was no way I was going to be able to kind of do it myself. Was the one where you have to shoot the tank, or not the walker, and the 2 captains and take down their shields, and I could do one or the other, which was fine, but I ran out of time. And the other one was to kill a Vex Gate Lord, but then you only had a certain amount of time before it then spawned in. Was it 6 crystals that you had to shoot within 10 seconds? And I couldn't do it by myself. So Noble helped me kind of do that.
Is this to get the stuff for Graviton Spike?
No, this was to get the complete for Mythic, because I wanted to kind of actually do everything on my Titan and say that I've done everything, and then I was going to go back through and get the little hidden urns and all the chests and everything, so that I've got that all done and dusted and got that triumph and sorted with all those challenges. So I wanted to complete that, but there were a few things that needed an extra body to kind of help you. Noble did need to do them because he hadn't actually done them, so he did get the strange things as well.
He needed a meat shield.
Yeah,
right?
No,
important.
Yeah,
he held me in front of him in one arm and held his gun in the other and was like, "Shoot him, leave me alone," and just started spraying at
I
things.
did not nice pull you at all.
He didn't have a gun in the other arm. It was a sword. Don't lie to us.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it was a sword. Yeah.
But we did try and do one of the Vanguard alerts, didn't we? We tried doing Exodus Crash, the Grandmaster Vanguard alert. Oh my god, that was just like, do you like champions? If you like champions, come in here.
Yeah, I tried to do the one with the from season of the Witch Queen, where we would rescue the prisoners from the Shadow Legion. I had the one with the eyeball, and it was, oh god, they put overload champions on like every tall part of the thing, and we were just getting annihilated in this crossfire of like 5 different overload champions that we couldn't even shoot.
Yeah, that was the problem that we had, was that the overload champions, you could kind of stun them, but then I think it was pulse rifle and submachine gun. As soon as you kind of stun them, they were then getting their health back unless you were, double teaming these guys. And it was like, and at one point there was like 2 that were trying to kill you and your friend. And it was like, well, we've got to try and stun one and then stun the other one and then take down the other one. It's like, it was, I mean, there were 2 of us. There should have been 3 of us in there, but there weren't 3 people on at that point. But we got 3/4 of the way through it before we got to the walker, didn't we? Just before the boss room. And there was just like, just enemies all over the place. But that was hard doing it as 2 people, because there was a challenge for that week to do your weekly reward track, which was the weekly objective was to do one of those or do like Vanguard alert things. I can't remember which one it was, and it was the only one that I hadn't done for the weekly objectives, and I wanted to kind of do that so that I could complete the reward track, but just didn't get a chance. We just weren't doing it, so I just went back to the Caldera stuff and we got that done.
Used me as a meat shield. That's what he did.
Did not use you as a meat shield.
Sometimes you just need a good meat shield. That's just how it is.
I will say that one of the frustrating daily challenges for Arms Week is complete 4 blooming Crucible matches. It's like, really? We've got to complete matches in Arms Week hardware. And I have heard that doing the Rumble hardware is quicker because you can use any weapon. But I want to do the bow thing, and it's just like, yep, that's I've literally just got to do that. But
So, do we have any expectations for what Shadow and Order will be? Because I think if it's Ash and Iron level, I think it's obvious to say they've pulled the plane's nose out of the nosedive it was in with how things were going. But I think if Shadow and Order is as light as Ash and Iron was, I think we're gonna there'll be more drop-offs and people will be bitching again. And I think people were like, oh look, they Renegades it, or they Forsakened it. They pulled out all the stops and look at how great this is, and da 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 da. And then if we have another meh,
Stretch.
okay, compared to what we had, this was a Forsaken. Compared to what Edge of Fate was, this was Forsaken level of salvation. But I just have a feeling that if it's just a couple more weapons and some minor quality of life updates, it's not going to hold until the next DLC. The next thing.
Well, funny you should mention that, because I was listening to a couple of other podcasts this week of like Destiny Reset and the Tower Casuals, and they were both kind of talking about like the Shadow and Order and the Ash and Iron updates and different things, and how Marathon is kind of going to impact it. And it does look like Marathon is going to impact Destiny, even though Bungie did come out and say that it's not going to impact Destiny. And with the, like we were talking last week, with the launch window being like a couple of days in between, it's like, do they push it, or do they kind of stick with the landing and go, right, we're just going to do Shadow and Order and that's it. It's just going to be. And I think the thing is, listening to those other podcasts and actually then putting it together, Marathon was meant to come out when we had the Ash and Iron update. Do you think that everything was at that point was being put into Marathon to be released there and then they had all that controversy and the plagiarism stuff?
Yeah, and then having to take it back and revamp it.
And, take it back and redo it, kind of thing, which then impacted
the artist.
Which wouldn't have been so bad for Destiny at that point, because if you think about it, with Destiny, we only had a small kind of expansion with the Ash and Iron, and it wouldn't have. I think they expected people from Destiny to go and play Marathon and then kind of maybe come back towards the end of Ash and Iron, which wouldn't have been so bad if you were kind of playing across 2 games. But the thing is, some Destiny players aren't Marathon players, and I think that's the problem that they're going to be coming across, is that it's a completely different game. But I think they're banking on some of the players from Destiny will kind of migrate and play both games at the same time. And I think that's what they were banking on at the time, that if they released it then, it was kind of a lighter season to the Edge of Fate, so that then people would then play Marathon, they'd come back, and then Renegades would kind of reinvigorate people to come back. And I think Shadow and Order is going to be bigger than Ash and Iron, because they're obviously going to be putting more stuff into it, because at that point in their timeline, it wasn't due to impact Destiny. So it was like, what they, at that point in their mind, they would have had both games running at the same time. And now it does look like
whatever it
I think I watched Gaming Animal this week. He did an updated Eververse calendar, and he was saying that from what he can see in the database is that they've pushed the Eververse further into April. So it looks like, I mean, they've covered the Eververse for now up until the end of April. So it looks like they're going to be delaying the Shadow and Order, even though they haven't even said anything, which is a little bit out, really. I mean, if you're updating the database and the data miners and everybody else is kind of reporting on it that this is what's showing up now, why not just come out and tell us?
Why not mention it? Or maybe they're or maybe its release is not being delayed, but maybe they're just pushing some of the other stuff back, figuring, well, we're going to push it and it's going to be what it's going to be. I mean, again, I would hope again at this point, they're doing bug fixes, they're doing the finishing touches. Like it's the end of January. This is coming out in a month. They've done what they're going to do with the new expansion. They're working on the bug fixes, they're working on the extra bits. Like they're not, I'll say hopefully not, working on major components of it still. Hopefully it's just a little bit of, cleaning up things, polishing things off, getting it ready for launch. But I agree with you. Is Ashen Iron was sort of a smaller update because they said, hey, we're going to have Marathon launching. That's going to take time and attention and away from Destiny a little bit. So let's launch this, have a smaller Destiny update to sort of keep that going. So we're not trying to split all of our focus, and now we're right back into potentially a bigger update or a delay while Marathon actually goes live. Because even if Marathon launches beautifully, it's going to have some day one issues. I mean, every new game launch does. I mean, how many times have you bought a new game to get home to play it and had to wait for the day one patch to come out and then the servers to come online and then say, do I actually get to play it day one, or is it just technically out day one and maybe I'll get to play it by day 2 or 3? Yeah,
and you've got to take into consideration with that as well as the Marathon's also a Bungie game, and they don't have a great track record of being able to play anything of theirs day one.
But at least they're not going to have a big campaign to have to redo because you're just going to go fight things. Although I'm honestly a little confused as to what Marathon is, because I know it's an extraction shooter, like I know kind of what it is, but then they keep saying things like, oh, we're going to have raid level activities and all these other things, and it's like, so is it going to have a campaign? Is it going to how is that going to work? Like I'm very, again, not a genre I play, so I don't really know all the ins and outs of extraction shootery type stuff. But it's just basically what level of campaign story whatever is there, or is it I'm dropping in and I'm shooting robots and other humans, or is there also story things that need to work and maybe I need to progress through in order to go shoot the robots and humans?
There'll be quest lines, and the quest lines will explain the story, I should imagine. And then alongside of that, obviously, I'm playing another extraction shooter, and I know I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to mention it by name because otherwise I'll get shouted at. I'm playing another extraction shooter at the moment, you know what I mean? And that has an end game system that is very much, it's a PvE system. You need other people to play it, but there is most definitely a PvP side to that endgame system as well. And for Bungie to be calling it, it's a raid level activity, well, in Bungie's eyes, it will be a raid level activity because they're as difficult as what we'd class a raid boss to be. So for Bungie, the easiest way to word it would be to the Bungie community, it's a raid level activity, because it's what we're used to it being named.
Yeah, it's words we understand as a player base.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that it's going to be the same kind of thing, but it's some big challenge you'll need to come together and work as a team to overcome.
Yes.
And people
then
maybe
still
shooting
going to
back during that time.
Yes.
Well, on the subject of raids, isn't Pantheon supposed to come back during Shadow and Order?
Allegedly.
Yeah, I've seen the same thing. People talking, mentioning it, but I'm going, are we making things up? Are we data mining? Where are we getting our information from, friends? Because I've seen this in a couple of places too.
Originally, it was Bungie, because Bungie did say that they were going to bring it back. Also, the thing that I haven't heard anybody else pick up on is that you remember when we were going to have one raid and one dungeon each year, right. And then we were going to have in the update in between, the Ash and Iron one, it got the update to the raid and it did the epic raid. Now, Shadow and Order should have an epic version of the dungeon, as far as I remember, because they said they were going to add things to the dungeons as well. Or is that just me?
No, I kind of remember that as well.
I'm sure that's what they said. Instead of giving us a new dungeon or a new raid, it was going to be there was going to be an epic version of that coming out in the second half. And I think everybody's completely forgotten about that. There is going to, as far as I remember, and I mean, I very rarely get things wrong about it, is that they said that would include new encounters and things like that, which is really good because we do like that dungeon. That's a very good dungeon. So we have that to look forward to as well. So there'd be an epic version of that, the Pantheon, and then whatever else kind of story beats and things that they then add into Renegades. It's going to be quite big if they manage to pull it off.
Story beats, because there really weren't any story beats that Ash and Iron added.
Yeah, I feel like there sort of was in the beginning. Like this is almost. I mean, I know people hate like the hated the weekly story stuff, but like the last couple weeks I've gotten on, and it's just sort of like, what am I meant to do? What like again? I'm enjoying it. I'm playing, but it's like, what am I? Like honestly, like I keep forgetting to go and do the weekly shipment stuff in the outpost. Because I just forget it exists. Like I know there's factions over there, and I'm putting stuff in there, but it's just like at no point was it like, hey, you're gonna go do this. Hey, we're gonna walk you through doing the things for the basically the orders for your faction. You're gonna turn those ingots in. You're gonna rank them up, and then hey, there's shipments that come in. Like I honestly, I'm not sure I've picked one up yet because I just keep forgetting they exist. Like I sort of wanted at some point the game to sort of say, hey, sort of again, like introduce me to the loop. Hey, well, this is what you're going to be playing for the next 3 to 6 months. Here's what we want you to do. Here's all the pieces of that.
Yeah,
and I just and now that again now that the streamers aren't out here and telling me, hey, here's how to play this game. Bungie also isn't telling me that, so I'm just forgetting it exists. It's like, oh yeah, I should go see when. Every time I check, it's like 2 or 3 days until this comes in, and then inevitably I forget 2 or 3 days to go check back.
But honestly, the contracts are a pretty fun 3-man activity. I've enjoyed them. I basically I played them enough to get the title, and then when I ran out of credits to buy the 40 enhancement cores every day, I played them again to get up to 99,999 credits again. But they're fun. They're 15, 20-minute activities. They're fun. You can pick which faction you're going up against. You can pick which type of job you're doing.
Totally agree.
Fun,
Yeah, they're fun, but it's also but I also don't feel like I'm contributing. I'm playing the activity. I'm having fun. I'm turning the trinkets in. I'm making the bar go up. But it's like, what are we actually doing? Oh, what story am I contributing toward? Couldn't really tell you. I haven't seen the Drifter went out and risked his life for us weeks ago, and then I don't really know what's happened left. Anora's just hanging out in the bar the whole time. Every time I walk in, it's like,
Right.
what are we doing here, guys? What are we meant to be working toward here, story wise?
I do know that Crucible, I tend to be the one that does the mechanics of the encounters, and everybody else be running around, like you said last week, Peroty. They've got their strongholds and their lightsaber on, just reflecting everything from everybody, and I'm the one going and putting the cargo in, and doing all that and getting the intelligence, trinkets to bank, and
you say it's a 10 or 15-minute activity, and it can be. It can also be
it can also take
significantly longer
if you have people not playing the objectives. That's certainly true.
Yeah, it'd be nice to hear. Yeah, I was jokingly going to say, well, let me refer to the roadmap. Oh, wait, no, right, don't call it a roadmap because we don't know what's coming or what we're going to have, or if Iron Banner will ever be seen again.
Yeah, I think that was one thing that they're being called out on this week, wasn't it? That where's the roadmap? DMG said roadmap, and then they didn't say anything, and then they apologized for saying the thing, and they said it would be coming later. But I do think that Marathon has had an impact, and they don't want to admit that it has. I'd rather them come out and say it has, and just double back on what they said and say, well, we need to get this out. We need to sort this out. It's, all hands are on deck for this. And then once we've kind of done that, we'll be back to 100% focus on this. I'd rather them be honest about it than just ignore the whole situation.
Yeah.
We're obviously this is having an impact. We can see this. Just be truthful with us and say, hey, things aren't great. We're trying to do this and that and the other, and this got pushed back, and this is now going to overlap. And yeah, it's like what's happening. We know what's happening. Just tell us, so we're not all playing this stupid game of what's going to happen. We're not going to tell you. We already know. Just come on, come out with it.
Yeah.
It's a silly dance.
Yes, indeed.
But I mean, at the same time, like, I mean, I'm at least thankful that Renegades has given us a lot of good stuff. Like, I mean, the Praxic blade is just perfectly designed.
Yeah.
And the weapons. I've used the Han Solo blaster, on Civil Discourse a couple times. It's great, but I have to say, I'm like Peroty, I am not a sniper person, but Mando's rifle is pretty freaking fun to use.
Noble?
I haven't had one of those. I would like one. So if somebody can donate me one, that would be fantastic.
The
I,
factions, the Pikers sell them once a day. You can go and buy one once a
but
day.
then I've got to remember to go there. And I don't remember to go there because, as Peroty said, nothing ever prompts you to go there. There's no prompt, there's no draw, there's no nothing.
When do the shops have to inventory?
At what point did it ever tell me, if you come here once a day, we'll sell you a weapon? They don't.
That is true.
There's nothing from them. And I said this a couple of weeks ago. The problem that Bungie is facing with this game at the moment is the fact that they have outsourced their information for so long to the people of YouTube that now the people of YouTube aren't playing the game. They've got nobody explaining the game to anybody.
Yeah. Well, very, very little people. Yeah, I know what you mean. Because I think people were talking about that this week again on the other podcast. They were like, Fallout's going off and doing this. Dato's creating another channel to go and do this. Astrokos is, doing his stuff to kind of keep himself afloat financially. It is one of those things that Destiny isn't pulling what it used to pull.
No,
so
not by a long way.
It is harder and harder to find credible sources. There are still people out there, and there are new people kind of popping up all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, I think some people do give up very quickly because they realise that it's not a money making thing. It's more of a hobby and a passion kind of thing to cover Destiny these days.
Well, obviously, as I said to you, I'm playing something else at the minute, and it's very popular. It's got a lot of numbers playing it, and it's a large amount of numbers playing that game. And the amount of people that I bumped into that play that game that were Destiny 2 players is insane.
Yeah.
And they're all like, oh, yeah, we used to play that. It really died a death, though, didn't it? And it's like, well, I can't really argue with your logic there. It kind of... Yeah, it kind of did, didn't it? And, a lot of them are going to swap over to, like, Marathon, etc. A lot of them have been talking about it, and a lot of them are saying, if we can get a game that handles and reacts and plays the same as Destiny, gunplay-wise, but that isn't Destiny... oh, that's going to be amazing. It's like, well, Destiny still exists. And they're like, yeah, but... And I think a lot of people now are still in the stage of the fact that they, say what you want, say that this DLC expansion, whatever you want to call it, was forsaken. A lot of people don't think it was. A lot of people were still let down by this. A lot of people still feel like they were, they've been absolutely lied to with what was coming and what they were doing, etc., with Edge of Fate. And I can't say that I disagree with them. I can't say that I feel like Destiny or Bungie have pulled Destiny from a bad place. I feel like it's a little bit better.
Yeah. But I do think it's because they developed other games or they had other games in incubation and they weren't 100% focused on Destiny. Because this game would be in a completely different place if it was 100% just a Destiny studio, like they were with Halo. We were just focused on that one game. But I think the problem is when they started branching out, and especially when they created Marathon, and I think it was Gummy Bears and everything. You then saw the teams that were there split into other teams because they were excited about, nobody's going to hold it against them that they were excited to go and work on something else. But the problem was that you then started splitting up the teams that were then 100% focused on Destiny, where you had people working on Crucible maps, you had working on strikes, you had working on story, you had big expansions with 4 kind of mini expansions throughout the year, or DLCs that would then kind of feed into it, which, is now kind of, it's not as big, the expansions, and then the mid-season refreshes aren't as substantial as they were previously. They're a mix of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and maybe a few sandbox tweaks that from like Destiny 1 era, where we went 6 months without having a tweak, and now we've kind of gone back to that. And the only way Destiny's going to improve is if they put more people back on Destiny. But that, I guess, is probably down to Sony.
It's like Peroty's always said, and as I said multiple times, like they expanded and they started making all these games and whatnot because they were making really good money, because nobody was working. Everybody was at home playing games. And they were like, well, this money's here and it's fantastic and it's amazing. And then that money wasn't there. And then that money all of a sudden disappeared. And then it was no longer amazing. And now, you've not only did you cut your teams in half, but you've cut your teams in half and you've lost the money and you can't afford to replace them and you're having to cut your teams in half again. So now it's no longer a half, it's a quarter. And it's just too much, you know what I mean? They've definitely bit off more than they can handle, but they're too far in it now to be able to back out.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them, but I also don't feel like I can blame the streamers either for backing out of it and saying, well, no, we can't do this. We need more. And as much as I am a fan of them, they need more. And to be honest, in another way, I think they deserve more as well. I mean, they have carried this game so hard over the years with, like I say, being the outsource of all information for Destiny, because Bungie don't tell us anything.
Yeah, but Bungie have always played it like that they want the community to be the ones that kind of find the things and inform like the rest of the community. And it's fun when it works, but when there's no content and these streamers have built their kind of like livelihood on the one game, it's like, well, I've got to turn to something else because I've devoted time and effort and, given up a full-time job to do this. You're not being able to fulfill my full-time needs. I now need to do variety streams and other games, which sometimes take off and improve like more than anything else. Because I think like True Vanguard disappeared over a year ago and was doing other games, and now he's now on like Marvel Rivals like full-time.
And the thing that sort of tangentially related to this is I am still extremely frustrated given the state of the game. Whoever the game lead is, the Joe Blackburn today, I don't even know his name, has not come out and addressed the community.
No.
We're in a bad space. And I read, that in an interview, like, he doesn't really like doing stuff like that. But you know what? Leadership sometimes require you to do things you don't like doing.
You don't like, yeah.
And having a, maybe not just like the notepad to camera that Joe did, which, went a long way to healing the community's problems, but something, I don't know, maybe an AMA on Reddit or something, but he needs to engage the community some way. He has to be seen by the community some way. And we're not getting that. He's just this, gray man in a gray suit behind a desk somewhere doing something, and we don't even know his vision.
But you ever thought that the reason you don't know his vision is because right now he's trying to sort out 7 people's visions from before him? There's been a lot of people walk in and say, I want XYZ, we're going to do ABC. Oh, well, no, because now I've gone and we're actually going to do, U, H, and D.
I think the other thing is that he's not actually Pete Parsons was the CEO. I can't remember the new guy. I do apologise. He's not actually the CEO. He's head of the studio. So it's like there's somebody above him, like from Sony, I do believe, and they're the ones running it. But maybe he's the game director. I really can't remember. Hopefully, Peroty in his silence is actually looking it up to kind of back us up, and he's going to come in and go ta-da. But I think his role is different from the last guy, so which is also having an impact on the way the game is going, because like you said, he's trying to sort out what has gone on before and all the different directions and kind of collate that and then kind of compress it into right now we're going in this direction. And he may have an amazing vision, but it may not be his vision. It may be somebody above him, or if it is his vision, he has to then get approval from whoever above to do whatever they kind of got planned.
Yeah. And not only that, like, I'm actually not a fan of this. He needs to sit down and address the community. Why does he need to? I don't agree that he needs to sit down and address the community. Do you know how many other games speak less to their community than Bungie still do to this day? And as a community, we do not have a solid background with the devs. We don't. You go on to Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it, any sort of social media platform where they try and communicate with us, and you read through the comments of what people make to them. You know what? I wouldn't want to be anywhere near us, because we can be a vile community towards those guys.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be a two-way conversation. It can just be a one-way conversation.
It doesn't,
or,
like
explanation.
saying that, like it doesn't have to be a pen to paper thing. He could just go on Reddit and do something. No, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with the community. I'd want to sit quiet and just go, like, you know what, this is what I'm doing. Right, they'll get it in a couple of months, and I'll tell them about it. Well, we'll tell them about it in a little bit via a TWAB or whatever. You know what I mean? And until then, they're just gonna have to shut up and put up, and just trust that I am gonna do something, because I am.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's got no kind of backings to show that if we shut up and just put up with it, that he's going to be able to come out with the goods. There's nothing there to. I know he's not there to prove anything to us. He's there to kind of do his job.
Yeah,
but the like problem is with what's gone on beforehand. That's the problem, is that other people have come out and said things or done stuff like Joe Blackburn did. It's like it's then harder for the other people to then come along and go, right, we're going to not say anything or not tell them anything. If the game's delayed, we'll tell them when we're ready to tell them that the game's delayed, and it'll be like the week before marathon and things like that. It's like, I think the problem is that the community do think they're entitled to a lot of things. Yeah, I think that's half the problem. And then you get the YouTubers jumping all on that, going, yeah, we're entitled to this, we need to know. And it's like, do we? I agree with you. We don't. We're not in that position.
Yeah, and even if we were told, well, what are we going to do? We're just going to scream, shout, stamp us feet, and then just throw more vile comments at them. No, I don't agree that we do, and deserve this information. Why do we deserve it? What, but we haven't given them a positive reaction in the past. Well, I'm not going to say we haven't, because collectively as the four of us, I don't feel like we've given them any aggro at all. You know what I mean? Like, I've never taken to Twitter, decided to call them things, and I know yourselves won't have done, but we collectively as a community, like, there's a lot of us that have done that.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we do deserve to know anything. No, I feel like we do deserve to be kept in the dark. And we do deserve to just be sat there and go like, look, you don't like it at the minute, fine. Go play something else.
They have said that, you can go and play other stuff, yeah.
Yeah, Donnie, how amazing of a person is Donnie. He's been on this podcast with you guys for I don't know how many times, you know what I mean? He's been in he's been in your guys' Discord longer than I have. He puts information into your guys' Discord frequently. Donnie's one of the first to admit at the moment that, this whole entire DLC hasn't been for him, but he's completed such a backlog of games that he's bought, and he's sat there and he's played them for half an hour and then gone like, yeah, but I need that weapon on Destiny, so and he's out playing his backlog right now, you know what I mean? And he's having a great time, but he's still checking in on everything.
Yeah.
He's still got a foot in the door. You don't have to completely walk away, but it is okay for you to step back. You know, if you don't like the content available right now, there is another game out there. Go and have fun.
Yeah, there's
Not
likely
just one.
loads,
I'm sure
loads of
there's a
other
couple.
games.
Yeah,
Loads of other games
But
you bought or is on Game Pass or you bought years ago and just never picked up, or was one of those 15 games your friends were all like, yeah, we're all going to play this. And that lasted for like 2 days and then no one touched it ever again.
Yep, because, but that gun's out on Destiny. Exactly, you know. And it's fine. You know, you are allowed. Just keep your foot in the door and keep listening to the podcast because, they want you.
Yeah, we want you. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, Demon and Peroty will tell you absolutely everything, and they will be your foot in the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, play a different game, but don't listen to a different podcast because we're here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's from like the number of people I see comment on like Fallout, like Zer in a Minute video. People will be like, I haven't played Destiny in like a year or in 6 months or since Edge of Fate, but I'll still watch your video every week just to see what Zer has. Like just to sort of just like keep your finger on the pulse and a little bit, just be like, what's going on? It's like what's going on over there with the old the old place you used to hang out. How is that going?
Yeah,
and I think people are looking for those signs of like. I mean, how many times has it been like, hey, like, is this the time to come back? Like, is now a good time to jump back in? Like, is the game in a good spot? I think a lot of people are sort of, waiting for sort of that high sign from those of us playing, still playing it all the time going, obviously it's never going to be, at the height of what it was, but it's like, is it in a good spot right now? Is it worth my time to come back? And I think a lot of people are waiting for that. Yeah, like now's a really good spot. Now's a really good time. And I think Renegades did that for a number of folks. They said, hey, if you enjoy Star Wars and you enjoy Destiny, we put Star Wars in your Destiny, and it's a really nice collaboration of the two. It's a really nice mix. Is it going to keep you forever? No, but like it's fun to come back and play for a while. But I think a lot of people are just sort of waiting for that. If they haven't just completely uninstalled it, walked away, and said, yeah, now we're done. Sort of waiting for that point to go, when do I come back? Do I come back? And in the meantime, it's like don't beat your head against the wall. Like, this is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to be having a good time playing games. Like, if you're not enjoying it, like don't suffer through it. Go, do something else, play something else. There's movies, there's books, there's things to do that you can, bide your time until the game's in a spot where it's ready for you and you're ready.
I know this is going to seem like a foreign concept to most gamers, but there's even grass outside.
But it's all muddy at the moment. It's all wet and muddy.
It is
here.
There's nothing
all
but
right,
like 6 inches of frozen snow and ice outside. So maybe for you guys, there's some grass.
Maybe there's no grass for you.
He's lying. It's mud.
I've not seen grass in at least a solid week. It is bright white and slippery out there.
Yeah, there's no you aren't allowed grass right now, but there will be grass outside again. I'm not going to say that it's not going to be slippery and muddy, but there is grass out there. You could touch it. You are going to end up with dirty hands, but you could touch it.
Eventually, it'll come back.
I will warn you though that the NPCs, when you go outside and you touch the grass, they are not very fun.
Is this the furry NPCs or the human NPCs?
The human NPCs, the furry NPCs are the best bit.
Oh, it's
But yeah, no, it is very fun. I am enjoying the game at the moment. Just getting on every once in a while and playing with people. It's fantastic fun. Like I am enjoying it. I do enjoy getting on when I can. To just have that bit of a chat with Demon and whatnot, and have a laugh and a joke and everything else. I mean, I do wish I could get on a little bit more often, don't get me wrong. But it is still very much an enjoyable game when I can. But I don't think I could go back to playing this like I was. Like a year ago, I would be absolutely mortified with myself if I hadn't logged in at least once a day, even just to check Xur or something like that. Now I feel like, God damn it, I forgot to check in this week and see what they were selling in the Eververse store.
Yeah, there is a video for that.
There is a video for that, but the problem with the video is it doesn't tell me if I have it or not.
Oh, okay.
So I have to log in and look because I don't know if I have it or not.
Yeah, I know it's there, but do I own it yet? That's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing every week. Even I can't remember the last time I really bought something from Xur, but every week I want to know what does he have? Is there something interesting there? Is there some new? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm looking for at this point. It's like, but is there something there I could have? Because I need to know. It's important. Will I ever use it? Maybe.
The best part about working remote is at about 11:45. I'm in East Coast time right now. About 11:45 on Friday, I boot up, head to the tower, and I just sit there and wait. And use the Atheon sitting on the throne remote emote to sit there, and then watch him do a little fade in, and then go up and be the first customer. And usually it's always crap, but I do tend to buy like all the enhancement cores and upgrade materials that he has. But I haven't bought. I did buy the Transversus Steps this week because apparently it's a good PvP Transversus Steps.
I almost wonder too. I think I wonder. I think some of it too is like sort of like you said about just playtime. I think Destiny's a game that I think a lot of live service games reward your devotion and rewards your being on top of what's going on. Because again, you're not going to find out anywhere else what's happening, so you sort of just it really is the quintessential if you know you know.
Yeah,
because if you know, you're good. If you don't know, well then good luck trying to figure it out. But I think it is really hard to, in some ways, like to play it as a more casual game, to be able to try to come back and go, so what's going on, what's happening, what should I be doing? Like if you aren't sort of paying attention week to week, or just knowing what's going on, or just hey, what event is up this week? What thing should I be doing? Yeah, what's in the game to go collect? I think my playtime has been all over the place recently, but it's definitely, I find it hard sometimes, like, if I haven't been playing, to sort of, say, hey, I've got free time. What do I want to go do? And it used to be, well, let me go play Destiny. Let me go jump into Destiny, see what's going on. Let me go catch up with people. And now that there's less the people to catch up with, and I'm not, again, there's a million activities to do, but it's like, what would I enjoy doing? Like what would feel worth it? Or, since I can't go, talk to people and have a laugh and do whatever, if it's just me getting on, I've got a podcast in the background or something, it's like, what do I want to go do while I'm listening to that? Basically, it's like Destiny almost becomes like the background entertainment for the thing I'm listening to instead of the other way around sometimes.
Right.
And then it's just sort of like, well, I could jump into Crucible, I could do this. Well, I have 1,000 of those weapons. I have 1,000 of all these weapons. What am I looking to do in this game session? And so sometimes it's just like, I'll just go do something else. It's sort of, trying to figure out what is worth the chase today. What's going to make me excited to play? And sometimes the answer is talking to my friends who aren't here. So maybe I'll do that another day.
But what we could do today, before we do that, Justin Truman is the current studio head of Bungie. So not CEO or CFO or anybody else, CFOs. He's the studio head of Bungie. It's Justin Truman. And he took over from the CEO, Pete Parsons. There you go. Peroty obviously did not disappear and come back with that information as I thought he would be. He's probably just disappeared at that point.
Yep, sorry, just disappeared. Had to step away for a minute.
I was like, maybe he's listening in and he's click-clacking away on his keyboard and he'll come back and he'll tell me, and then nothing. Damn it, I'm going to have to look it up myself. Along with Destiny 2 Update 9.5.5 that went live on Tuesday this week. So they've done some things. They say they fixed some things, so I'm going to tell you what they fixed. In Renegades, they fixed an issue where invasions would not count as job completion when completing exotic contracts. Fixed an issue where the Piker Gang Tier 2 contract was granting an additional reward upon completion. That's a shame. Well, why not? Fixed an issue where the Out in the Cold mission would not progress if players moved too quickly immediately after loading in. I think that was the one that I came across. Lawless Frontier fixed lighting in the Invader Ready room for Mars invasions to match Venus and Europa invasions. Fixed an issue where the in-progress Lawless Frontier activity would kick players to orbit if the daily reset occurred mid-run. Fixed an issue where the cloth physics would not animate properly in the Lawless Frontier activities. Fixed an issue where the Opportunist Triumph would not progress with some optional objectives. Fixed an issue where the abative armor health would not display correctly within a Vex stun field. Fixed an issue where the batteries in Venus sabotage activity could appear partially within the environment. Renegade abilities fixed an issue where the damage numbers displayed when hitting players with the Imperium drop pod was inaccurate. The Renegade's ability coin flip animation can now be interrupted earlier by the coin throw. Fixed an issue where the Renegade abilities could stay active during some super states. Fire and Ice fixed a rare issue where players who disconnected from their first Fire and Ice run during the final boss, then rejoined, could not acquire the Praxic Blade. In the Portal, they fixed an issue where the weekly Vanguard Alert Challenge was resetting after 7 days instead of a weekly reset. That was something that I think we pointed out when it first kind of came up. We were a bit confused at when they were resetting, so there you go. Note, players that have completed their challenge in the past few days prior to this release may need to wait until the next upcoming weekly reset before their character resets again. Fixed a rare issue in the Battlegrounds Conduit Fireteam Ops where Vex Goblins could spawn behind a shield, blocking activity progress. Fixed an issue in the Arms Dealer Fire Ops where players who died around cannons could have their ghosts placed in an accessible spot, preventing revives. Fixed an issue where the Dungeon Pinnacle Ops did not display completion time predictions. Fixed an issue where the Contest of Elders Pinnacle Ops would apply modifiers that were not outlined or selected in rooms. Fixed an issue where the K1 Logistics Solo Ops where the high final boss shield could be broken with Sunspot. Rotated some Banes in and out of modifier pools. Made adjustments to the protected Banes. Reworked drones to no longer clip through walls or get lost in the environment. Reduced drone health. Now randomly spawns between 1 and 3 drones. While drones are present, combatants now have high damage resist instead of immunity. Raids and Dungeons fixed an issue in the Desert Perpetual Epic raid that could cause more than one instance of the encounter music to play and overlap. Fixed an issue in the Vault of Glass causing wyverns to despawn and preventing completion of the Conflux Challenge Wait for It. Fixed an issue in the Desert Perpetual raid preventing players from loading in when joining. In the Equilibrium dungeon, updated the Way Between Quest's Shades of Sarah encounter toward loot as expected for the players who have previously completed it and are already attuned to a gear piece. Lost Sectors fixed an issue where launching into the Exodus Garden to a expert Lost Sector through the activity flag would result in a black screen. The UI and UX, the death screen will now appropriately report if a player was killed by the following Renegade abilities: Vex Deflector, Imperium Drop Pod, Vex Stunge Field, or Pike or Mortar. Fixed an issue where the vendor menus would display incorrect pages when swapping between different screens quickly. Gameplay and investment, armor. Fixed an issue where the Tier 4 and Tier 5 armor acquired from vendors could sometimes have incorrect masterwork costs and available armor mod energy. Armor may still appear incorrect in some cases when inspected on the vendors before acquisition. All previous and future Tier 4 and 5 armor pieces that have been purchased should now behave as expected. Fixed a visual issue where armor cloth would lose movement physics after exiting a sparrow. With your weapons, the Praxic Blade, they fixed an issue where the Coromont reversal projectile would sometimes cause health bars rubber banding when striking difficult combatants. Aleatheum fixed a visual issue where the Aleatheum's crystals would flicker. Weapon perks, All-Star fixed an issue where the All-Star were having its damage multiplier against combatants overridden by the damage multiplier against Guardians. In PvE, All-Star grant a 35 multiplicative bonus to weapon damage. In PvP, an All-Star grants 15 multiplicative damage bonus. Fixed an issue where the collecting special ammo was providing more time to enhance All-Star than intended. Collecting a special brick grants 7 seconds of enhanced All-Star. Adrenaline Junkie fixed an issue where grappling melee and Helion kills were not activating this perk. Weapon mods fixed an issue where the opening salvo weapon mod would not activate with swords. Fixed an issue where the high heat beeping audio for the heat frame weapons would sometimes not play as expected. And abilities. So in general, the Prismatic Transcendence fixed an issue where trying to activate Transcendence on controller would sometimes activate Renegade abilities instead. Echo of Domineering fixed an issue where the Echo of Domineering was not increasing the weapon stat on activation. Grapple Tangles fixed an issue where the Grapple Tangles could be used to unintentionally cancel some ability animations. Fixed an issue where instantly cancelling a free grapple from a Grapple Tangle could refund non-grapple grenade energy. Ballistic Slam for the Titans fixed an issue where the Ballistic Slam was giving Bolt Charge on activation without hitting enemies. Hunters, Mobius Quiver buff is now removed if the super is interrupted. Combination Blows fixed an issue where the Combination Blows was not working correctly in PvP. Gunpowder Gamble fixed an issue where shooting Gunpowder Gamble's dynamite to detonate it could not count as grenade damage and wasn't scaling with perks and stats. The Warlocks, Lightning Surge fixed an issue where Lightning Surge was giving Bolt Charge on activation without hitting enemies. Fixed an issue where the aspect description did not mention that it applies amplified on cast. Healing Rift and Empowering Rift fixed an issue where casting animation could be cancelled by swapping weapons and emoting. Seasonal Artifact fixed an issue where the Kinetic Synthesis artifact perk would not grant ammo to New Land Beyond. Fixed an issue where the new gear mod was not providing the correct amount of bonus damage resistance. Power and Progression, gear items earned from playing the Edge Fate campaign can now drop above 300. So I should have just waited a couple of days and it would have been over 300.
There you go.
Collections fixed an issue where the Psi Alterna 4 Pulse Rifle was sorted into the wrong category. Fixed an issue where players with returners gifts could become blocked from claiming additional orders rewards. Player Identity and Expression. The collection entry for the Death Majestics Warlock set will now point to the Warlock items rather than the Hunter items. The icon for Episode Revenant's Eververse set and the Optica Lion's Helm will again appear in collections regardless of ownership state. Changed the name of the Pied Piper emote released with the Edge of Fate to Sweet Serenade to limit confusion with earlier emote also named Pied Piper. The special audio for the Exquisite Weapon Helmet will now also be present for all Darcy weapon ornaments. Fixed a texture alignment issue with the Malware Titan ornament set helm for body type 1. Fixed an issue where instances of the exotic armor predating Armor 2.0 would not properly sort their exotic ornaments first in a list of choices. And fixed an issue where the Pretender's Grip's unique glow when paired with the Wormhost's Crown would not work on body type 2 characters. And in general, the Eververse recommendations tile will again share recommended items rather than point to the seasonal tab. Fixed a minor misspelling in the timelines. Fixed an issue where the timelines explanation ownership nodes would occasionally not update properly. And fixed an issue where the duplicates of items would not always appear together in the vault. Lots of little things that we fixed there.
Yeah, it was a pretty big one.
Yeah. So that's what they fixed. And this week in Destiny for the 29th of January, it's not much to tell you. There's Arms Week has returned, the Dark Age Hunt, and the emblem is there. But we do get double invasions next week. Is everyone excited about double invasions?
I'm curious at what double invasions might lead to. It just feels like they're testing something, and I don't know if it's my heart of hearts wants me to think maybe they're testing a new Gambit mode. Maybe it's something Iron Banner related. I assume at this point it's not R&D for Marathon because that's going to be out. But this is all seeming very much like, hey, maybe something if and when they do finally port Gambit into the portal, maybe we're going to get a little bit of update, a little bit of difference. Again, it doesn't need like a whole lot, but just anything, even just being in the portal would help. Yeah, I think it's interesting though, because again, the double crosses, I didn't quite, when I talked, I remember how many weeks ago about going in and there's just one person there, and I think you had said, hey, basically you're invading another invader or double crossing or something. I was like,
yeah, I didn't realize that for a while.
I didn't even realize that was a thing in the game. I just figured it was putting me in with just one other person and putting us in a dome for some reason because it didn't want us to go run all over the map. And again, just nothing mentioned, nothing talked about, just no mention of this anywhere. Just like, it would have been nice to know that's a thing in the game. Again, like you're just relying on, the datas of the world to tell people things, and just you could mention it. You could mention that that's what's happening, or do something.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be somewhat Gambit related as well, Peroty. I really do, and I really, really, really want Gambit to make it into the portal. But do I see it happening? No.
Yeah, I'm not hopeful, but I'm also just sort of going like, why? Like, because again, like we're this far into Renegades. Like, Renegades is over in a month basically. So it's like, what are we doing this for? I mean, I guess obviously, like the activity will still be there. Like, we'll still have the outposts and everything, which I keep having to remind myself, right? We're still going to have this game mode after the fact.
Yeah.
Once we do get Shadow in Order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I always have to go whatever the new thing is called. The two words smashed together that are different. But yeah, it's just like, are you doing this for this now, this late in the game, or was this a plan you had? What I just wonder, like, what is this for? Is this something you had meant to do before, and now we're just getting around to it? I don't know. I'm curious about it, but yeah, don't know if I'm. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping it's for something else.
At this point, I don't see Gambit being added into the portal, because I just feel like, if it was going to be added into the portal, it'd have been there immediately.
No, they did say that they were going to be working on it, so it is something that they're working on.
Yeah, but they also said they were working on Gambit 4 years ago, and then took a load of the maps off us and never gave us them back. Same as they were working on Crucible, and they never gave us those maps back.
But we just have to keep hassling them. That's the only way I think we're going to get it, is that if we just keep hassling them and reminding them of these things, it's the only way it's going to go.
Yep. It's all we can do. I mean, again, we finally got Mayhem in the portal months, 4, 5, 6 months after they said it was coming. So maybe there's hope.
Yeah, I'm so glad we got Mayhem in the portal. It's so much fun, is Mayhem.
Yeah, Mayhem's wonderful, and it just, again, it's just like, why? What are people still playing things outside of the portal? Like, for those of us who are still here, other than going and playing Gambit, is anyone playing things outside the portal? Is this something that's still happening?
Well, outside the portal, you're still getting other game modes. We're getting 3v3 Dominion, Elimination, Lockdown, Rift, Hardware, Mixed, Showdown, and then the 6v6 you've got Mayhem, Clash, Momentum Control, Relic. They are kind of just doing a copy and paste of what happened last season with the Edge of Fate. So whatever, so far up to week 10, it's been exactly the same rotation. So we started with Dominion, Mayhem, Elimination, Clash, Lockdown, Momentum, Rift, Relic, and they've literally copied and pasted. So there's a few extra modes in there that are kind of scattered around, but there are still modes out there, but I don't know if anyone's playing them.
Yeah, but like when was the last time you even loaded up, like, other than to check for video purposes, like, when was the last time you even looked at, like, the outside the portal Crucible just to see what was up? Like, I can't tell you the last time I've looked, because it's like, why would I play Crucible outside the portal at this point? If I'm going to do anything, I want to do something, that gives me weapons in the current world we're in.
Why would you play Crucible? Peroty is the bigger question. No, that's a joke. I really enjoyed Crucible last time I was playing.
Right, yeah, but I mean, it goes for anything. Like, when was the last time you looked at the Vanguard list outside the portal? It's like, yeah, it's there, but like, I mean, the only thing I could see you doing is, if you were doing a raid or a dungeon that hasn't made it in the portal yet. Like, is there any reason to check anything else? And yeah, I mean, maybe there's people out there having fun and doing things, but it felt weird when they announced, oh yeah, we're going to have 2 different ways to do this. And now that we're this far into it, it just feels even weirder that it's still a thing you could go do. Oh yeah, there's all this content out here you could go play. You're going to get nothing useful out of it, but it certainly is a thing you could do.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't enjoyed the portal. I still don't enjoy the portal, and I still don't enjoy how much is left out of it. So,
no.
If it was up to me, just scrap the portal and put everything back to how it was. But
okay,
that's me.
That's your 2 penneth, is it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Just completely do away with the portal. Get rid of it.
Fair enough. We've got, as I said, we've got that double invasion. So basically, that means that they're going to be conducting a test next week, allowing a job to be invaded up to 2 times during each Lawless Frontier run. And their goal is to reduce the number of double cross invasions, but to better assist fire teams, they will receive 3 additional revive tokens for each invasion. So if you're in a run and the revive tokens are low, an invasion can give you some breathing room. And that test will run from February 3rd, 9 a.m. PST, till February 10th at 9 a.m. again, basically. Or 8:59 a.m. if we're going to be arguing.
Yeah. Reset.
Do you think they're doing it as a trial thing because too many people are complaining about how difficult? Because haven't you got to get something with the invasions in order to get the silly crystal? Yeah.
Red.
So you think it's
the
people are
RNG
complaining about that?
Oh, of course.
The RNG's too difficult on it. So if we reduce the amount of available invasions, is it going to increase the odds of us being able to get the crystal?
I mean, I ended up getting Undertaker, the invasion title, just out of playing the mode. And I got the red crystal probably between 20 and 25 invasions. Like, it wasn't hideous.
Yeah.
Bungie likes him.
Yeah.
I'm probably
it wasn't like
30 or so in and still haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Bungie
I was going to say, like, there's certain, raid and dungeon exotics that, I haven't seen 40 or 50 runs in.
They don't exist. The dungeon exotics don't exist.
Yeah, I'm kind of giving up getting the Taken Crystal. I just don't think it's ever going to drop for me.
Yeah, I don't think I've had any of the extras drop.
I'm hoping next week that somebody messages me and says, come on, we're going to go do a load of dungeons, and then I'm going to be really excited.
Okay, we'll go and do a load of dungeons.
Yay!
There you go. We also have the Oath of the Renegades results, and it is... the Pikers swooped in at the last minute to secure a narrow victory. So congratulations, boss Rickis. Would be proud of you. And there you go. There's a little chart that says this was this date, this was this date, and then at the end, ta-da! And we all get a lovely emblem. That code will be coming later on this year.
We all get it, or just the people who push the Pikers?
No, we all get it. We all get it.
Yeah, they said everybody gets one, which good because I read that in the TWAB and I was like, oh yeah, that was the thing that was existing that maybe ended months ago, maybe ended this week. I don't know.
Yeah,
I completely forgot that was even a thing that happened when they were like, hey, the results of this thing. I'm like, all right. I remember seeing someone talk about that many weeks ago and then forgot it existed at all.
To be honest, I remember you guys telling me about it weeks ago, and I was too caught up on trying to do something else that I hadn't done, that I still never successfully actually found out how to do. And then you were like, have you done this? And I was like, well, wait a minute, what? And now I'd completely forgotten, and I've just remembered again because I saw the graph. I was like, oh, yeah, that was a thing that you could go and you could register and you could do things. And nope, forgot all about that.
And the Pikers emblem is going to be the one that's highlighted on the end. So there you go. That's what you get.
Well, I will not be getting that code because I am one of the people who haven't been getting their damn marketing emails for close to 10 years.
They might put it in the TWAB. They might just go, here's the code. There you
go. I'm sure the few people still talking about things and us will say, hey, here's the code, here's the thing, here's what you can do with it. Yeah, because my demon also has never seen a marketing email. He knows nothing about them.
No, I don't.
I liked it because, like, I used to get it when it would have like the customized videos they would do for you and your character, and I liked getting those. And then all of a sudden, I stopped getting them.
Sign back up. Keep signing up until they tell you no.
Yeah.
Sign up in all the emails you have.
So many emails from Bungie, it's unreal. I got the one a couple of weeks ago when they were asking me to fill out a form. Like, here, can you fill this out, this feedback thing? And I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
You get silver
for do that at some point.
No, I did do that because if you remember, I tried taking screenshots of all the questions and whatnot so that I could send them to you because you didn't get asked to do it.
And you couldn't take screenshots, could you?
Yeah, it wouldn't let me take any screenshots of it all. It was like, no, you can't take screenshots of this. Just answer the questions.
What would happen if you just took a picture with your phone?
if I just took a picture of my phone with another phone and sent you that, I feel like you'd have just gone, what is that?
No, I'd have understood.
So listen, they wouldn't let me take screenshots. We have a workaround. We have the technology.
Yeah.
Just like this week, Bungie's going to tell us the new player guide how to navigate the main menu screen. So you can read it here. They have a menu guide on how to navigate the main menu because that wasn't important to put out a decade ago or anything.
Nope.
The game to give finale happened already, so we're not going to tell you about that because it's over. You either got your 1,000 Hogs emblem or you didn't, and it's over. And this week in Trials, the Martlet's up, which either means something to you or doesn't, or you're hearing this after Trials is over, in which case you missed it. So, oh well.
Is the Martlet any good?
Yes.
Yes.
That's something else I could do. Oh, why weren't I doing that? I could go and annoy people in Trials.
Yeah. Yeah. You can run around and dance around Trials with a group of 2 other people, and then Martlets would just rain down upon you.
I always forget the good stuff.
You know what's happening though is he's just dancing around his player support report, which he only gave us half of last week, which I had to make up from the previous weeks. But it doesn't look like they've given you the full player support report this week. They've given you half to go through.
It's the half that he didn't read last week. It's fine.
No, it's a different half.
Yeah, different half. See, I read it all last week. If the robots and you didn't hear it, that's really not my problem. I'm shouting as loud as I can from the U.S. If you can't hear it across the pond, we'll have to check the string, make sure it's properly tight between the 2 tin cans.
It's a big pond.
Yeah. So while we're updating our cans and string setup, we have upcoming server testing, which we've talked about a little bit already. They want to give us an early heads up about the upcoming server testing they'll be conducting to gather data on a minor back-end change. While we normally wouldn't post about this, we anticipate this test might impact some players. So starting at 11 a.m. PT on Thursday, February 5th, we'll be temporarily switching on a server setting aimed at improving the back-end world server performance. During this time, players may see more guitar errors across Destiny 2, especially in longer-running tower instances. This is an expected outcome of the test, and we're looking to resolve it in a future update, but it is a key part of the data we're collecting. So the test should only run for a few hours. We'll provide an additional reminder on the day. Thank you in advance for your patience. So I don't know if that means when you go to log on to the game, if you'll get a little message saying, hey, by the way, things might break today. There could be more guitars in space. Or if they'll post about it on the socials, in which case half the people won't see it. But just know on Thursday, on next TWAB day, you might hit more guitars in space, but it should only be temporary. We also have a combat telemetry update. Due to an issue, Ada 1 was unable to accept the combat telemetry arms weight currency earlier this week. The issue has been resolved, and players can visit Ada 1 in the shooting range, not Ada 1 in the tower, in the shooting range Ada 1, to exchange their currencies and their old combat telemetry for new ones, which can be used to purchase the distorted arms week engrams, the King Orfeo bow, and Ada's lab samples of bows. In addition, the full spend weekly challenge to spend combat telemetry during the week can now be progressed. That I think they fixed Thursday evening. So if you tried earlier in the week and you couldn't spend your currency, now you can. And we have recent known issues. Ooh. So what do we have? We have enemies in the Mars sabotage can spawn stuck behind the spawn door, blocking encounter progress. They saw what happened to their friends and they're quite frankly over it. The Voltaic Overflow buff does not drop in the Garden of Salvation raid's opening encounter when the encounter start is triggered by killing the Minotaur. So don't do that. In the Defiant Battleground EDZ, players try to progress quickly past the Examida Taken Servitor boss after it has taken after it has been defeated, but before the objective updates will hit a kill wall. So in Defiant Battlegrounds EDZ, players who try to quickly progress past the Examida Taken Servitor boss after it has been defeated, but before the objective updates, will hit a kill wall. So when you kill the boss, take a bait, take a sip of your drink, then move on. In rare instances, players are pulled forward into the Epitotes encounter in the Desert Perpetual Epic, get stuck behind a black screen until the fire team wipes. So if you're doing that, then you get pulled and your team may have to wipe. There goes Flawless. Your overclocked heatsink on the Compact Defender Legendary Sidearm is showing a decreased damage stat when equipped despite text mentioning an increase in damage. This is a display-only issue. Your weapon is working as intended, we promise. Activating Banshee's Wail on the Lament prevents it from activating sword artifact perks. Good. Demosiffusion? Dimosiffusion? Yep. That helmet is causing players to flinch when enemies are suspended. And the Masterwork New Weapon Guardian Rank Challenge does not progress when masterworking heat frame weapons. So you're going to have to masterwork something older. Yeah, so those are our known issues and our hard words to read. And then we have art and movies of the week. 1,000 Hugs and Hunter being a hunter. And yeah, that's a wrap. Make sure to visit their live stream that already happened. Let us know how you feel about the medieval hardware. And then looking forward to hearing about the double invasions and the lawless frontiers next week. And until next week, they say stay safe out there. And provide us no kitty cats or doggies or anything else. Disappointing.
To be fair, you don't want your guitar in space to crash into a cat, do you? So, it's quite lucky that there's no cats in space next week.
Yeah.
That is true. But there should be. There should be more space cats.
Playing guitars. If they had thumbs, you'd be able to have space cats playing guitars.
Perfect.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Right. Before I'm already herding cats at this point, but before we kind of get to that stage of I'm just going to give you some videos and then we're going to go. So if you've collected some loot this week with the King Orfeo bow and the Heron glaive, Astrocross and Llama have all the god rolls for you and event guides, I think, as well. So I will stick Llama's guide in there for you if you want to have a look, check that out. Because I'm going to collect them all and then I'm going to go through them next week. So that's my plan anyway. I don't know about the rest of you, but I Bet On Me has Destiny 2's most slept on hand cannon, and this is the modified B7, which is one of the new heat weapons, and it's really, really cool. He's got a guide for you on that. Cammy Cakes has done 2 videos this week, one on the Ace of Spades and one on the Last Word, and I found them very interesting. They're both for hunters, but the builds that he's got for them really do make them shine in PvP. He's 2-tapping with the Ace of Spades in PvP, and the Last Word is just doing... there are crazy things that he's doing with it. He's using the bombardiers, and the way he's got his prismatic set up is giving him extra damage, and the Shrewd Survivor set that you can get from the Renegades is also helping with the build as well, because... Let me just have a quick check on my hunter. Because the perk that you get on the Shrewd Survivors... the 2-piece is swapping to a heat weapon, submachine gun, or hand cannon, grants a short period of increased handling and accuracy. This effect is extended by dealing damage with that weapon. And he's using that, the Shrewd Survivor set, with the Last Word, and I think the same with the Ace of Spades, but go check those videos out. And then the last one is from Destiny Fun Police. He spent 500,000 Glimmer to get this Godroll auto rifle. Does he get it? Maybe. But... I do have one that's similar. I'm now probably going to spend the same amount to see if I can get the roll and see if it's doing any good. And again, he's on a different character. This time he's on a Warlock. I think it's the Warlock. Was it the Warlock? I'm telling you it's the Warlock.
Yeah, I know I saw a short of him. I saw a short of him on Hunter saying, "Am I a Hunter main now?"
Maybe it was the Hunter.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to watch and find out.
Yeah.
You don't remember. Yeah.
Oh, no, it was the Hunter. Yeah, because it was the Mask of Bacchus, that was the one. Yeah, with the Herod C that you can get from the Drifter. So go and check those out. Any more for any more? Renard?
So I've got a couple.
No, I did
not.
not. Yeah, no, nothing for me.
Okay. We know nothing from Noble.
I will also remind you, I think Renard was the first person to tell us, go see Zavala because he has the competitive SMG from the Crucible for sale. The Peculiar Charm, which I got one out of gift giving and cookie baking with kinetic tremors and some other things. It's got some tasty rolls. I don't have the video, but I think Destiny Fun Police did. Oh, there it is on my liked list. Yeah, Destiny Fun Police did a video earlier of just sort of his 2 cents on, hey, which role should you pick up for different things. So obviously he's looking at it from a PvP standpoint. But he's like, the PvE would probably be this. But yeah, if you've been playing, you've got a handful to choose from. So
second from the right is the really good PvP role.
Well, there you go. And then a different one will be a good PvE role probably. So yeah, so either watch the video or at least go and survey the ones you can pick up, because it is a tasty submachine gun that shoots like a pulse rifle. So it's a little weird to use at first when you don't realize that, but yeah, it's good fun. The guy is DUQK Duk. He has the number 1 PvE glaive available for this week. So if you've been hunting through your collection of herons sitting in your vault, he's got some recommendations. You've already talked about Kami Cake's video where he quotes Lego Flash about the modified B7 pistol is even stronger than you think. So I watched that one and missed Kami Cake's, didn't grab the link to Kami Cake's video. If you've also been looking at your sword going, I've been slacking on my Praxite blade, where am I meant to find all these things? Dado has a video on how to get all the components, catalyst mods, which I know we've put videos in the past, but he did another one recently on just a reminder where to find all this stuff. So, as we're going to slack everyone off for going, why aren't you making things telling us how to find things? Well, here's one of them. And then finally, Duddits 2, who is, I think, secretly Noble, because they are the same person. That's my new headcanon. The weapon has an inbuilt gear set bonus and gives insane damage. So there's some exotic synergies between I think that's the Warlock, or no, not the Warlock. I can't remember now. It was with the Trace Rifle, and I can't remember now which exotic he pairs it with, because I don't recognize the one on the thumbnail. But yeah, if you want to play around with Trace Rifles and things as a hunter, you can go do that. But that's what I've got this week. And as always, all these links are going to be in the show notes. If you're going, what was that? Who was that? What are we talking about? It's all in the show notes.
This is your weekly rundown for Destiny 2 Renegades, Week 10 starting on February 3rd. Week 10 will see no additional events take place this week, giving you another week to be able to complete anything outstanding before the next event goes live. Over in the Portal Crucible Ops this week will be competitive, control, and another Crucible playlist mode, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Other non-featured modes of 3v3 Showdown and 6v6 Mayhem can be found over on the Crucible Director. In the solo ops we have Skywatch, the Salt Mines, the Conflux, Creation, K1 Logistics, and Caldera, with the new solo ops Typhoon Imperator. In the fireteam ops we have one of the rotating reclaim missions, with this week being Cabal's Watch, Heist Battlegrounds Moon, and Defiant Battlegrounds EDZ, with the Sunless Cell Strike. Strikes added in week 2 of Renegades with the Birthplace of the Vile, Exodus Crash, Warden of Nothing, and the Arms Dealer. Also still in the fireteam ops are the Battlegrounds Behemoth, Core, Oracle, Foothold, Delve and Conduit, Expedition Nessus, the Strikes of Liminality, Hypernet Current, Insight Terminus, Fallen Saber, the Devil's Lair, Proving Grounds, the Inverted Spire, and the Glassway, Empire Hunts the Warrior, Technocrat and Dark Priestess, and Savathun Spire Offensive. In the arena ops are Season of Plunders, Ketch Crash, Season of Loss, Astral Alignment, and Season of the Haunted's Nightmare Containment. In the Pinnacle ops we have the 3 dungeon layers, Pit of Heresy Beneath the Necropolis, Duality Nightmare of Goron, and Warlord's Ruin Locus of the Wailing Grief, with Onslaught Widow's Court, Episode of Revenant's Contest of Elders, and the Coil. New to the Pinnacle ops we have the exotic mission Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic Waveframe Grenade Launcher as the main reward, and Episode Heresy's Dear Allies mission, for the Barradide exotic submachine gun. Returning exotic missions include Heliostat, with the Wolfsbane exotic axe as the main reward, Presage, with the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle being the main reward, Node Override Avalon, with the Excalibur exotic glaive being the main reward, Starcrossed, with the Witchkeeper exotic bow being the main reward, the Whisper, with the Whisper of the Worm exotic sniper being the main reward, Kel's Fall, with the Slayer's Fang exotic shotgun being the main reward, and Encore, with the Choir of One auto rifle being the main reward. Also in the portal is the new Vanguard Alerts tab, found in the Seasonal Hub, which consists of weekly challenges in Vanguard, Arena, Crucible, and Grandmaster Alerts. Over on the Lawless Frontier, the contested territory will start this week's rotation with Europa, and the Fire and Ice exotic mission will be Arc Threat. On Kepler, featured mission 1 this week will be Quarantine, and featured mission 2 will be Message. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia, and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blindwell features Taken Enemies and the Plague Oina Mina. The Ascendant Challenge will be the Keep of Honed Edges over in the Harbinger Seclude. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep, the Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Fallen Council in Archer's Line. Nightmare hunts Fogoth, Fear, Crota, Despair, and Fanatic Insanity. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Fogoth and the Blasphemer Shotgun. On Europa this week, Praxis the Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Desert Fraternity Expert difficulty rounds are Hive, Vex, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Perfector's armor set will be available in Desert Fraternity with Weapon Set 2. Scaithlock, Extraordinary Rendition, Brass Attacks, Threaded Needle, Code Duello, Imperial Needle, Far Future, Honor's Edge, Distant Terminus, Interference 6, Shepherd's Watch, and Annual Skate. The Witch Queen Weekly Story Mission is the Communion, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Pact. The Wellspring activity will start the week on attack with the Kinetic Bow, Feltar Diddle, and Borragon Hive Knight as the boss. The Lightfall Weekly mission is No Time Left, the Partition mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex Incursion will be Liming Harbour. In the Pale Heart is the Exotic Class Item mission Dual Destiny, and the 12 Guardian Match-Made Excision mission, with a Grandmaster version guaranteeing you the Ergosum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Lost Sector rotation for this week will start with Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome, Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City, The Quarry on the EDZ, Edition on Europa, K1 Communion on the Moon, Gilded Precept on Neptune, The Conflux on Nessus, Extraction on the Throne World, and The Forgotten Deep in the Pale Heart. All legacy raids and challenges are now available all the time, and at present there are also no featured raids or dungeons each week, but you can find past raids and dungeons for their respective exotic weapons, with no weekly lockouts. Over on Kepler we have the Desert Perpetual Raid, and Desert Perpetual Epic Raid, with both versions dropping tier +3 loot, with the chance for the exotic rocket launcher Whirling Ovation to drop. Over on Venus, the new dungeon Equilibrium has the chance for the exotic combat bow Heirloom and the Dark Matter Crystal for the Praxis Blade to drop. The exotic mission rotator will be Operation Ceres Shield, with the Revision Zero exotic pulse rifle being the main reward, the Season of the Ceres weapon set, and Ikelos weapon set, with the Warmind's Avatar armor set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and Zero Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. And that's it for the 10th week of Renegades.
And just like our lovely patrons, 2 of which are here. Our lovely RenardColant, who we cannot threaten with a good time. We threaten with a good time. And he's here.
They have tried. Yeah. They've threatened to send me cats.
We threatened him for a good 3 or 4 hours before we even started recording. I mean, just threat after threat. Couldn't be done. And of course, our grenade throwers, a Farrell the Man Conan from Texas, Golden God 1562, and Noble. YouTube extraordinaire and Secret.It's2 YouTuber Noble is here as well. Thank you to them and all of our lovely Patreons who have gone to patreon.com/TTH and said, we appreciate what you do. We like that you're still playing the game and trying to tell us what's going on when no one else will. So we're here, they're here, we're all here to have a good time. And this is where I say finally, thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Night Demon. Your Hunter is Noble, and your Warlock is RenardColant. Because we're just going to throw all the shade and get all the outrage this week. Why not?
Wow.
You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. Find your outrage in every comment section on YouTube. Just search for Two Titans and a Hunter wherever we're out there. Email the show, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. I know Noble will be leaving comments on the video about being called a hunter. So see, sometimes you need to farm a little bit of engagement. While you're on YouTube, you should watch, the 801 videos, the Eververse Goods, have Demon tell you what's going on in Crucible, and all the show notes live in your podcast player, as well as twotitansandahunter.com. And if you want to join the Auto Dance Troop, threaten us with a good time, throw more grenades, join the Patreon, patreon.com/TTH. If you want a more casual encounter, coffee.com/twotitansandahunter, and twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter. You should go there, you should hit the buttons and bells, because you never know what's going to happen. And until next week, say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
I'm not saying nothing, I'm a hunter.
You're just going to brood in all black.
He's going to hear me across the pond when I go outside and I shout at him.
Yep. True to form, true to form.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.